in GQ. What does that stand for? GQ. I think at one point it was Gentleman's Quarterly. Well, why don't we just look into this article? Now, what we need to do is first understand, and understand it well, the Roman phrase, cui bono, C-U-I-B-O-N-O. Who benefits? Who does this benefit to keep men locked into the societal expectation of doing the marriage and the diamond ring and blah, 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 blah. And who does it, government, maybe? I don't know. I don't really think the government gives a fuck if people get married. But that's kind of my cynical take on it. Who benefits to keep men playing the game? Oh, would it be women? Why, yes, it would. Wouldn't it? Now, this article is entitled, the quote, "Men Going Their Own Way Movement is the Taliban of the Manosphere." So, men deciding to do what they want with their own lives is akin to we being the Taliban. What if we said the women going their own way, feminism? That movement is the Taliban of the gynosphere. What would be the response to such nonsense? Would we have the same people bitching? These people are evil. These men, they're evil. They're just like frigging terrorists who blow shit up and kill people. Right. Isn't that funny, though? The thing about a lot of men going their own way, they really don't want much to do with the government or women, or frankly, a lot of other people. See? Look how evil they are. I bet they're all white. No, they're not. Actually, you'd be surprised just how many different colors of the rainbow you see with men nowadays here. Tony Parsons. Let's jump into the article. Don't be complacent. Their virulent misogyny is going mainstream. Now, Tony, sir, we're going to have to define misogyny in, the way you define it. Would that be criticizing women in any way? Even minor things. Is that misogyny? Of course it is. Because that's the lefty fembot mindset. You can't criticize me. Because for decades and generations now, gentlemen, women have been told they can do no wrong. And if they do fuck up, there are no consequences. So someone's saying, hey, excuse me, you hate me. I mean, this is it. There's no reason to beat around the friggin' bush. They have programmed society and women of generations to actually believe that any criticism is hatred. Out on the wilder shores of the manosphere, they talk constantly about the RP and the BP, derived from a scene in The Matrix. Now you know all this shit, right? Taking the BP lets you live your life in blissful ignorance of the monstrous reality of the wicked world, while taking the RP opens your eyes to reveal the awful truth. I'm sure many of us have seen the movie by now. We get it, right? As rebel leader Morpheus explained it to Neo, you take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the RP, you stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. There's truth. But out here in the manosphere, far too often a digital sewer. Now, let me get this straight, whatever your name is. If women constantly get on Reddit and do videos and tell us how evil and shitty men are, that's perfectly fine because it's true. But if a man points out one thing, hey, excuse me, ladies, this is it's a sewer. Because pure and holy as the driven snow. You can't say anything about women. What's the matter with you? You're obviously a member of the Taliban. Far too often a digital sewer for 50,000 shades of misogyny. Indeed, taking the RP means that a guy has opened his eyes to the bitter truth about women. I don't know if it's a bitter truth, it's just nature. And you see something you probably, what is this guy's name? Tony. What you probably might not understand, Tony, is especially us older guys, we were told the opposite of truth while we were growing up, and for a long time. Oh, no, come on. That's not true. And then you realize you've been lied to your entire life about the reality. Just like the government, just like anything else. Oh, no. The government's here to help. The government's good and government's this and that. And then it's like, really? Well, this doesn't look like help. I mean, if you want to live your life with your blinders on, dude, go on ahead. It's your choice. See, you're also a man going your own way if you want to believe bullshit and unreality. It's fine. You want to do that? Go on ahead. He continues, namely, women are not simply pieces of meat. Women are pieces of poisoned meat, and they will lie about you and your career and suck your bank account dry, wreck your life, and send you to a cell with some other blameless soul that got on the wrong side of the sisters, like Harvey Weinstein. Okay, Tony, can you deny that the divorce laws in the United States and probably in the UK heavily favor the female? It's not hatred. That's a fact. Can you deny that a woman at work could say you did thus and such to them and you are carrying a box full of your shit and you lost your job? Just like that. Remember the Ma Deuce movement? Do you? Wreck your life. Do you know anything about the Title IX situation on the college campuses? You could have consensual activity with a woman, everything's fine, and months later she can come back and say, you know, I had a couple of beers that night. I don't think I consent. I think he did. And you're done. No proof required. Are you saying this is not true? And if it is not true and I am lying about this, Tony, would you please present your evidence that I'm lying? I'd like to know that. Donna Zuckerberg writes, quote, the RP represents a new phase in online misogyny. She's the author of Not All Dead White Men. Oh, okay. ARP Hill believers, says Zuckerberg, not only mock and belittle women. Oh, really? Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? Criticizing the way some women act is belittling and mocking. Okay. They also believe that in our society, men are oppressed by women. In some ways, yes. Not in all ways. Oh, and the Harvey Weinstein situation, Tony, men going their own way tend to want to avoid contact with women. Harvey Weinstein wanted contact with women. Do you see any difference between the two? From the, incels and PUAs, okay, sure. PUAs are not men going their own, well, they are in a way, they're doing what they want to do, but they're certainly not avoiding women. Or do you not understand that? Nobody on the manosphere is quite as obsessed with the RP concept as the boys in men going their own way who aspire to live their lives without contact with women. Okay, so how is that a problem? Tony, qui bono? Who benefits? What if men do what society expects them to do? Who benefits? And who benefits if a man does what the hell he wants with his own life? I wonder. Some men going their own way have platonic relationships with women, while others keep transactions strictly commercial with ladies of the night. Again, Tony, do you understand the concept of men doing what they want to do with their lives? Just like fembots, women doing what they want to do with their lives. Oh, okay. You see, the problem is, Tony, the fembots expected men to continue to do the same thing after the revolution in the 60s. Oh, of course you're going to pay for dinner. Of course you're going to get down and give me a big ring and marry me, and when I divorce you, you're going to give me half your shit. No-fault divorce, child custody, all of these things. We weren't supposed to object to any of this stuff. Stay on the plantation, boys. He continues, but what you notice about all of them is they never stop talking about women. You know why that is, Tony? Why do English teachers teach English? All they ever do is talk about English. Because they're teaching people about English. Do you get the concept? We're trying to inform men who may not know these things about women. Kind of like an English teacher who might be trying to teach a Spanish speaker how to speak English. Why is that such a hard concept for you, Tony? Men sharing their lives with girlfriends, wives, and daughters never devote this much time to thinking. English teachers always talk about English. Always. Men Going Their Own Way has a website, and it looks like a cross between a trailer for an action movie and a cry for help. Well, in some ways, you're right. It is a cry for help. And the cry is these laws are fucked. If you want men to get back on the plantation, so to speak, and do what we're supposed to do as men, you better change the fucking laws. Because as it is right now, if you do the cost-benefit analysis, Tony, which you haven't done, it is a shitty deal for men. It is a contract between the government and men. The only beneficiary, cui bono, out of that contract is the female. What do you mean? But men get poon. Why would I ever have to get married to get that? Oh my God. A few sad, embittered losers. Oh, the shaming. Oh God, you're right. Now that you called me a loser, I'm going to find the first woman I can find and marry her and sign that contract. You know why, Tony? Because you called me a loser. God almighty. Who knew? Oh my God. A few sad, embittered losers in a dusty nook of the internet? If only exclamation point. One Men Going Their Own Way vlogger has more than 90 million views for his YouTube videos, including criticize her and she will destroy your career. Is that, who is that? Richard, what's his face? While that glossy Men Going Their Own Way website has 800,000 replies to more than 50,000 anti-woman... How about this, Tony? How about 800,000 replies to more than 50,000 pro-man topics? Oh, it's the same thing, is it? Right. That's a lot of misogynistic madcaps. Quote, Men Going Their Own Way resemble men's rights activists more than incels and PUAs, according to Laura Bates. Laura, I agree. I agree with you. She continues, both groups believe that women pose an immediate threat to all men. Well, Laura, women have the power to destroy men with the help of the government. You might not want to believe it. You might say, wait a minute, that's man-hating shit. That's woman-hating stuff, Hamster. Really? Title IX, divorce, SH at work, mansplaining, catcalling on the streets. In some places in England, you can be arrested if you say hello to a woman on the street. Now, not all women are going to do that, but you know what? It's the poison bowl of M&Ms, Laura. Go ahead. Have all you want. Yeah, there's only one or two in there that are bad, right? Laura continues. MRAs believe that women are so unfaithful and untruthful that they often force men to raise other men's children. Yes, cuckolding. Right. So, Laura, you're a fembot. Why don't you and the rest of your sisters advocate for a required DNA test? Oh, you fight that. I wonder why that is. I just really, really wonder. I wonder why some states in the United States, regardless of if you're the father, if you're married to that woman and she gets knocked up, you're the father. Why would we have such laws in effect, Laura? And why isn't feminism trying to remove those laws? What am I missing here? What am I missing? But the men going their own way and the men who lap up their vicious woman-hating crap, really, are more than another catchy manosphere acronym. They tap into a genuine terror of men who have spent their formative years watching women through the distorting mirror of... Okay. I will put the link so you can read the article. I think you get the gist of what Tony is saying. You're evil. A man wanting to do what he wants with his own freaking life is somehow just like being Taliban. Cui bono? Gentlemen, who benefits by putting down men doing what they want with their own lives? James Maxwell, thank you for listening.